My name is Curtis. I am originally from Hampton, Virginia, but I call Rocky Mount, Virginia home, in the middle of Franklin County, about 30 minutes south of Roanoke. Kind of a boring person, really, honestly. Go to a lot of recovery meetings and spend a lot of time at church with my family. At the age of 17, I started having issues with mental health. I'm former military, so I joined the military when I was 18. And in the process, going through the military, I started to drink, I started to do drugs. Those became a medication or a solution to my depression. I wasn't taking any meds or anything like that. Because of my substance abuse, got discharged from the military a little earlier than I should have. I spent the next 22 years of my life just struggling with substance abuse and mental health, really just going unchecked. And in my struggles, I got married, I've had some kids. My relationship with my wife was not very good because of my substance abuse, and my depression turned to self-harm. And that's kind of where my story went off the cliff a little bit. And in October 2019, I attempted to take my life. And it just, for the next couple months, I ended up in and out of places. Ended up here at Riverside Mental Health a couple times in that period. Not really receptive to anything that the facility was offering. I just was a very angry, unhappy person. Didn't feel like I needed to do the stuff they were suggesting that I did. They gave me some avenues outside of here through the Community Service Board. I tried to do that for a little while, and because I was relying on my own self-reliance, it didn't work out too well. So I stepped away from that, and I tried to manage the depression and the self-harm and the alcohol and drug abuse on my own. And it didn't work, and unfortunately ended up getting me and my wife evicted from a place that we were living in, and I wasn't put into a very healthy situation with the family we were staying with. I ended up being homeless myself for a week. I came here, I was admitted September 18th of 2023. This time I came in here, ready to change. I was ready to get help because at this point I had hit rock bottom. Like I said, I've lost a house, I lost my wife, I lost my kids, and I didn't know what else to do. So I just came in here, and like I said, the first day I white knuckled through it. The second day, I started to participate in the groups, and I started to be open-minded and really just being open, 100% truthful with the doctors and telling them what was going on, not just telling them what they wanted to hear. I was actually telling them 100%. My second day here, one of the peer recovery specialists here brought in an NA meeting, and in that meeting, after the meeting, I was talking to the ladies that she brought in to share their story, and she said that she was going to go get me a big book, and she came back with this book, a little blue book, and on the front said Alcoholics Anonymous, and I thought, okay, cool. I was like, I don't think I'm that, but I started reading that book, and it started to change my life. That book did, and the next night I met a guy that she brought in for AA, and he started a process that would change my life. And after I met him, I was here for another week, and I just soaked up everything the place was willing to offer. The staff was very nice. They didn't make me feel like I was somebody less than. They made me feel like a human being, which I struggled with feeling that way for a lot of years. I can't thank the staff enough this last time for doing what they did and being the way they were. And then, like I said, they made me feel like, I wasn't in here because I did something ridiculous or crazy. They made me feel like, hey man, you're a human being and you're worthy to be cared for and taken care of. They really set me up very well. I was really impressed with the fact that they were really concerned about my living situation, that I wanted to get out of here, and they were like, no, we're not gonna do that until you have this. And once I got that, they were like, okay, now we are good. We feel like you're gonna be in a good place. It just, their heart, not just me, but everybody there, just shone through right there. And I really appreciate that. I was somebody that felt like I was unloved and unworthy of love, and just a lot of hopelessness and helplessness, and a lot of self-pity, and I don't have that today. And I'm living proof that things can change and miracles do happen. Got to be willing to accept what people are offering, and that's very hard to put your pride and ego to the side. So I know that if I wouldn't have gotten the help or been open to the help, then I know that I may not be here today. Man, when I left here, I just felt like this time that I was going to be all right. It's just been a really great journey. A lot of peaks and valleys, but the peaks are more present today than the valleys, and I wouldn't have that if I wouldn't have came here when I came here this last time.